Hello, 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 and thanks for joining me yet again. I hope you can all hear me. Oh, it looks a bit dark on this screen. I hope it's not too dark. But yeah, anyway, we'll crack on. Um, Welcome. This is another TTG live. I hope you're all well. Tonight we can chat about anything. So talk about whatever you want in the chat. I'll answer as much as I can. We can quickly go over anything that's happened this week to do with hobby in general on the Warhammer community page and things like that. But the main topic of tonight is this is a scouring update. There's not many in tonight, which is a nightmare. I wanted as many people in who are signed up to come in, is it 3 weeks' time? To Scouring of Cheshire, because there's a few things that I need to clear up, a few things that I need to go over, a few things that people need to know. So I'm going to be going over that today. A bit of a bullet point checklist is I've got things wrote down because I'm terrible at remembering. Food. I've had a few questions on food. The reason I'm doing this basically is because my inbox in the last 2 to 3 days has just gone absolutely insane. And during the day when I'm at work, it's impossible for me to stop, reply to people, start digging out links and sending links, etc., etc., etc. So it was a lot easier for me to do this. So I'm going to do this as a live, and I'll leave it up on the channel and put a link to it on the event page so people can refer to it. But I'll also do a post with most of the things in there that people need to know about the event in 3 weeks' time. Is it 3 weeks? It's 3 weeks, right? Or was it 2 weeks? Oh, it's 2 weeks. Flipping heck. It's 2.5 weeks. It's not long now. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I've got butterflies in my tummy. It has been so long since since the last scour, and it feels like it was a lifetime ago. COVID really messed things up. But really excited. Like I say, few nerves as well. I won't lie. I don't know why, but you always get nervous on these things. But yeah, uber excited. 100 nerds in that one room, all playing games, having fun. Just seeing everyone is just going to be fantastic. I put my phone on silent. I do apologise. Um, just seeing everyone is going to be the main thing for me. But the fact that everyone's going to be there playing games and rolling dice and just having some awesome games and meeting each other, because I know there's a lot of new people coming and people who've not been to Scouring of Cheshire before, which is fantastic. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. So yeah, I think before we dive into scouring, should we have a little? There was something that I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if anyone who is watching, if you are watching, by the way, I can see some of you guys have already started to say hi in the chat, which is awesome. I'll come to the chat shortly. But if you're watching, please do say hello. Let me know you are watching, and also if you are watching and you're coming to Scouring with a car full of friends, or friends who are coming and you don't see them in the chat, can you please pass on as much of this information as you can, or at least tag them in the post which I'll put on the event page after this live stream, because it is information they will really need, and it's information that if they follow, we'll just make things run a lot smoother on the weekend at the event. So that's awesome. But yeah, I think before we dive into that, because people are joining, I can see the numbers popping on, which is great. I'm not going to wait around for a big figure. We'll dive in about 5 or 10 minutes. But this week, exciting news. We got on the Warhammer community page, save the dates for pretty much the early calendar of 2022. Obviously, it let us know about the US Open in Austin, Texas, this month at the end of next month, which is exciting. Hopefully, we'll see some cool stuff, reveals and things from there. That'll be super cool. But then Warhammer World events were announced, and on the 15th and 16th of January, there is a Age of Sigmar doubles tournament. Age of Sigmar is a game. I've had 2 games of Age of Sigmar of the new edition. Really enjoyed it. And I've got the new starter set fully painted up, and fully was expecting by this time to have already had some content on the channel, but it's just been so busy, and with everything going on with Scouring and trying to get boards built and everything like that, it's been manic. So there will be some Age of Sigmar stuff coming up. So if any of you guys are Age of Sigmar players and you're looking for an event at Warhammer World, the 15th and 16th of January. We've then got on the 22nd of January a one-day event, which is the Warhammer Underworlds tournament. Don't play Warhammer Underworlds. Never have. Not for any reason. Just never have. It looks cool though. That's the is it the hexagonal board? Is that, have I got that one right? And then there's a 40k doubles tournament, 29th 30th of January, which will be super cool. I'm toying with the idea of actually just popping down that weekend and just having a walk around and chatting to people and seeing what the vibe is at a Warhammer 40k event, because I'm planning a 40k event myself in 2022. So it'd be cool just to sort of get a bit of a feel for a 40k event at the Home of Games Workshop, right? Aeronautica, I can never say it. I'll let Dan Collister tell me how to say it properly. Aeronautica Imperalis. Is that how you say it? 12th of Feb. Very close to Valentine's Day. There's going to be a few unhappy wives on that weekend, I think. Blood Bowl, Bugman's Belter is on the 13th of Feb, even closer to Valentine's Day. And then a Warhammer 40k match play event on the 19th and 20th of Feb. And then the one that, if you like me, was the one that caught your eye, which is the 26th and 27th of February, and it's the Middle-earth strategy battle game grand tournament. So it's the GT, so it's going to be ultra competitive. I'm just going to click get the details here and see what information has been released. If any of you guys are thinking of going to any of these, do let us know. So it's board size 4 foot by 4 foot, number of games 6, 700 points. Yeah, bog standard for a GT, it's looking like, and then just all the kind of T's and C's. So 700 points GT, that's interesting, because it's about 600-700 points is kind of where I like to be. I'm not competitive though, and I know this is for like the uber competitive guys, but I have set a reminder for when the tickets go on sale, which, if I'm not mistaken, is, does it say on there? Yeah, 1st of November. So 1st of November, the tickets go on sale for the GT. I've got between now and then to fully 100% make my mind up, but if I was backed into a corner now, I'm probably going to get a ticket, just because it's Warhammer World, it's a Middle-earth event, and I love their events, even like them, which I have no hope of, doing well in. It's a grand tournament. I still see a lot of friendly faces there, and it's always a good weekend. So yeah, I'm going to properly make my mind up before they go on sale, but I think I'm going to go at 65 quid for the whole weekend. Food included, which is really good. It's always really good food. It's a great weekend, so do let us know if you're thinking of going. Right, that was it as far as really Middle-earth stuff being announced this week. We've got all the pre-orders which went up last week, which are going to be available to buy on the shelves on Saturday, which is exciting. We did the book review. When did we do the book review? Was that Monday? Sunday? I can't remember when it was. Oh, was it Saturday? I can't remember. I did it anyway. I've done a Witch King review. I've done the terrain review for Door. There's a lot of stuff. I've covered a lot of stuff. I'm going to try and keep up that momentum of covering stuff, especially the Middle-earth stuff, and possibly some 40k stuff as it drops, and covering it on the channel. It's been a mental few months. I've not even touched the surface of the amount of content that I wanted to get out on the channel, just through being so busy. But it's coming up to Christmas, things are slowing down, so yeah, I'm hoping to get plenty of stuff out there. Right, let's get over to my event page for Scouring of Cheshire 2021. So after this stream, keep an eye on the event page. If you come into the event and you're not on the event page and you've not clicked going, please do so. If you click going, you'll get all the notifications that I post. I'll be posting on there mainly announcements for the event. So if you're not on there, if you're not clicked as going, you won't get the announcements and you'll miss them. So please do get onto the event page and do that. And again, please pass that message on to any friends that you know are going, because it is pretty important. It just means that I don't have to keep repeating myself and replying individually to messages. Not that it's a problem replying to messages. It's not me being rude, but when you get home from work and you've got like 27 unread messages, it's difficult. And then you walk in the door, you've got to make dinner for yourself and the kids and the family and everything else. It's difficult to get into them. So who's in the chat? Mark Greentree's in. How you doing, Mark? Dan C's in. How's it going, pal? Glyn's in. the legend that is. Sean's in. Nick Kelly's in. How you doing, Nick? Anthony W. Hi, Steve. Greetings from Poland. Greetings, Anthony. Good to have you, mate. Jasmine's in. How you doing? Alex Johnson's in. Jake Robson's in. Late to the party. Don't worry, mate. I've been waffling. Nathan's in. Tim's in. Here's the weekend after this one. It's snuck up, hasn't it? It has snuck up. Dale's in. Sean's in. Good man. Jasmine says, out of interest to those in the chat, how many of you have changed your list since the fall of the Necromancer rulebook? That is a very good question, and I would be interested to know. I don't, you know what? I don't think there's going to be many of yous. I don't think there's going to be many of yous. I know Jasmine is you're more on the competitive side, and you did really well in the last event. Did you win? Did you win that, Jasmine? Am I remembering that right? Did you win? Was it last weekend? I think you did, didn't you? Was it Ed and Owen's event? If you didn't, I know you were doing well. I did have one eye on it over the weekend, so congratulations to yourself. But yeah, it would be interesting to see how many people had a change of heart on the list because of the announcement to allow lists from the book and the deadline being put back. So that's the first thing we'll come to. The new deadline, if you didn't know, for army lists coming in is the 2nd of November, which is Tuesday. So please, please, please try and get them all in by Tuesday. It's an absolute nightmare if I've got to start chasing. And it just takes up time that really I don't have. I've got a sticker inside my t-shirt, which is itching me. My little girl just goes around sticking stickers of stars and moons and rainbows everywhere. For some reason, there's one inside my t-shirt. Yeah, so deadline is Tuesday the 2nd. All lists due in, and which leads me on to the next thing. So for the event, normally when I do the scouring, I use a spreadsheet just to keep track of the scores and everything, which has been great. There's nothing wrong with using a spreadsheet. It's fantastic. It's always worked in the past, never had a problem. But the last scouring, which I think was 82 players, if I'm not mistaken, I found it quite taxing getting everyone to come up and give the scores and putting the scores in, and then having to mess around with draws that were people who'd already played each other and things like that. It was just a bit of a nightmare. So we're going to be using something called Longshanks this year, and Longshanks is a browser-based event organizer, and it basically does everything for you. And what it does is, so if you guys as players, rather than you have to come to the TO desk and go, this was our score, and stand in a queue of like 30 people to hand you score in, you can do it on your phones. It just makes life a hell of a lot easier, and it just streamlines that a lot. It makes life a lot easier for the TO. It makes life a lot easier for the players, especially, like I say, if there's a lot of you finishing at the same time. There's going to be 50 games going on at once. Few of them are going to finish around the same time, especially all the ones that go to time, and then everyone's trying to get the scores in at once. If you can just do it off your phone at the table with your opponent, it makes life so much easier for everybody. So we're going to be using that. So what I'll do is I'm going to post up in the chat a link to the Streamlabs browser. All you need to do is register. Don't worry, it is not like one of those marketing ones where you're going to start getting all sorts of emails and stuff like that. It's nothing like that. You won't get anything. You'll only get Longshanks related emails, and they will be about the events that you sign up for. Some of you guys may have used this before, and I know a few of you guys helped me out the other night, give it a dry run, and everything went smoothly. So sign up, don't do anything, just sign up. That's all you've got to do. The link is in the chat now. Just let me know if that link doesn't work, but I'm sure that's the web address. Sign up, pass that web address on to your pals who are coming to the event. Make sure they sign up. Again, this is all going to go in a post on the event page. And what I'll do is, as you send your army lists in, I'll reply to that email that you sent your army list from with a link to sign up to the event. That way, I'm sure no one would do it, but if I just post a link in a public forum, I might get a lot of people signing up that aren't actually coming to the event. It'll just mess everything up. So it's just easier if I keep it private and I send the people who send me the lists the link. Once I send you that link, click it and you're signed up to that event, and there'll be a few drop down menus. It'll ask you your name, It'll already have your email address because you're registered, and you'll have a drop down menu for your factions. So you put your faction in there, all the legendary legions are on there, all the factions are on there, and I think you can, there's up to 4 options. So even if you've got allies, make sure you do a drop down for each of the armies in there. It's not overly important. You could put anything in there. It wouldn't make any difference to how you end up. But what it will do, Longshanks as a program stores all the information from every event it's used in. So all you like data freaks who love all the facts and figures can log into Longshanks, and as more Middle Earth events use this program, you can have stats for you know, best performing faction, best performing legendary legion, best performing faction with blah blah as a leader and stuff like that. It really is a good program. The fella who designed it has had it out for a while now, and he used it for Guild Ball first, then Marvel Crisis Protocol, and that's how I heard about it. The lads who play Marvel let me know about it, and I reached out to the guy and I said, look, you know, have you got any intentions of adding Middle Earth as a game system to this? And he said he didn't, and I let him know how big the event was and how big Middle Earth is here, and give him a link to, because he's an American guy, give him a link to the American SBG groups, and he was shocked that it was as popular as it is. And he said, yeah, I'd love to do it, and he's put a lot of work into it. It's free, which is the main thing. You can use it for free, or you can sign up as a subscriber and you get little perks, and it's like $3 a month or something like that, which equates in UK money to probably about £2. And it's well worth it. It's great, and if more people use it, it'll get, you know, more subscribers and it'll do more. And he said as it progresses and as he gets more feedback from the TOs that are using it, he'll add more features, which is super exciting. So these features that are on there now are really basic. We wanted to, or I wanted to, because he was basically relying on me for most things because he doesn't know the game. I basically just got a bog standard event like running browser program thing. But like I say, as time goes on, and I'm hoping to take some feedback at the end of the weekend, I can pass that on to him, and there'll be things that he can add to it, and obviously things that are not feasible. But it's looking like it can be really awesome. It's really, really cool. But go on it, have a look around, have a play around on it, and you'll see what I mean. Click Middle Earth, all the factions are in there. All the legendary legions should be in there. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to use. So that's the first thing. So remember, 2nd of November is the deadline to get your lists in. When you send me your list, I will reply with a link to the Longshanks Scouring of Cheshire event, and you just sign up. And it is limited to 100 people. So once 100 players sign up, no more can jump in. So that's super cool. What else did I want to do? Oh yes, so food. I had a lot of questions about food over the weekend. So I did put a post up, I think about 2 weeks ago. I'll get onto the Saturday night food first because I've already put that post out. So I'll just reiterate what I've said. I think only about 4 people have replied to this, so which is fine. If you're sorting out your own food on the Saturday night, not a problem. But at Element Games have a kind of a relationship with Domino's, which is just around the corner, and they do a special offer on a large, so it's a large pizza, and they do cheese and tomato, double pepperoni, Hawaiian, spicy, a barbecue, or a vegetarian option, and it's a large pizza for a tenner. So they're about half price if you get them through Element Games. And it is 10 quid for a large pizza. So I think they're normally like 19 quid. So you get them for a tenner. It's up to you whether you use that or not. I'm going to get one from there. It just says faffing about. It'll just turn up at a set time, which I'll put on the post what time it will be. And all the details are already on the event page, but I'll re-put them in the post. If you want them, I need you to send the £10 to my PayPal with the reference pizza and with the details of what pizza you want. They're large pizzas, probably too much for one person to eat. So some people some people have got a big appetite and they want a full pizza, fine, but one large pizza would feed 2 normal people. So you could get one and split it with your pal or whatever. It's entirely up to you. Just keep an eye out on the event page for this post, and all the details will be on there. But there is one already on there. If you look back, if you search my name and go back in my post, and you'll see one of the details are on there, because I think 3 or 4 people have already paid, which I thought there'd be more uptake, but there wasn't. But bear in mind, if you don't get this, you will have to arrange your own food on the Saturday night. Sticking on the subject of food, food during the event, so at lunchtime on Saturday and Sunday, again, is entirely up to you. You can arrange your own food. There are an absolute ton of takeaways, sandwich shops, bakeries, just around the corner from the gaming hall. You've got an hour for lunch on each day. It's more than enough time to go out and grab something. But Element, again, have a relationship with Subway, and I'm going to be ordering some Subway sandwiches. So it's like a banquet, Subway banquet. And for, how much is that one? That's for a £5. You'll get 2 of the normal size sandwiches and a packet of crisp. Again, totally optional if you want that, and that's on this Saturday and Sunday. So it's so it'll be a £5 for each day. I'm going to be getting it anyway. I just need to know how many people are going to get it. Again, it will be in the post, and it will be a prepay with to the PayPal with a reference so that I can pay Element and they can order the right amount needed. It turns up. It's there when you finish your game for the lunchtime break. You just walk over, grab 2 sandwiches of your choice, a bit of sauce, a packet of crisp, sit at the bar, have a chat, catch up. It's there. You don't have to go out then. You don't have to go looking for food. It just makes life a lot easier, and it's a £5. So it's a no-brainer to me, but it's entirely up to you. All the details will be on the post. So that's food for the Saturday night, and that's lunch for Saturdays and Sundays sorted. Let me jump in the chat so I don't let it run away with me. Where are we? It was where Jasmine asked about the any change, wasn't it? Glenn says he's not changing. I've not changed my list. Not enough time to paint anything new, says Tim. I don't think the lists in this book are massively game breaking or game changing. They're good. They're very good. The Mirkwood one could ruin a few people's days, and the others, the Necromancer and the Vanquishers, they're all good. To be fair, like the Azog's one is, I think Azog and Mirkwood Rangers are the ones that are gonna affect people more, even though I think people think that it's the caster ones that are going to affect people more, whereas I think it's the other way around, because I think the caster ones, if you hit them with a horde army, they're in trouble. I think, especially on objective based. Jasmine says, yeah, was that yeah to winning it? If it was, congratulations, Jasmine. And it was a tough, there was a few good players there, so yeah, well done. It was awesome work. Jake says, no change for me, although very tempted. Tom Marshall, then he says, Tom and Emma in, we won't be there, but had a very stressful day, so cheer us up, Steve. Oh, sorry to hear that. But if it's any consolation, I have had a very stressful week. I've had a very stressful week last week. Stuff with work and suppliers has just been a nightmare in my field, which is why I just cannot wait to get stuck into some massive nerddom very, very soon. I'm away this weekend with the Battle Streams guys. We're meeting up at Warhammer World for a 1-day, I think we're in 3 games. I'm just going to go out and have a few beers after and get some food. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. And then I come back from there on Sunday, and then I've got that week to finalise everything, get everything ready for Scouring. You probably can't see it because it's quite dark in here, but I've got to finish this board. There's a board there which is not going to get finished. It's just not going to get finished. I'm going to actually stop working on that one, because time I'm putting into that one is time that I could be doing finishing that one. So I'm going to stop on that one. That one will be ready for March. But yeah. Where are we? No lie, Steve, your weekend was taken up with celebrating football. Yeah, we won't talk about that. Jasmine says, I really wanted to play the new Nazgul. They could win, but playing my best list. Do you think... I think they're good. I'd be very surprised if we see the Rise of the Necromancer or the Vanquishers of the Necromancer winning an event. I mean, I'll happily eat my words. I just can't see it. I just think there's going to be too many scenarios that could undo them, that could come up. Nick Kelly was too tempting not to. Jasmine says, sounds good. Will it Swiss rank with first tiebreakers for every round? Some software has. Yes, pretty much. I'll go through everything in the post, and I'll go through. If you when I send you the link, you should be able to click on the event, and it'll have all the details, and it should give you all the information, like what that is Swiss ranking, and it's not like tiebreakers. You get the option to choose the different tiebreakers, like strength of schedule and all that, but I'm not a fan of that. So it's VP diff basically. Then I've put the link in. Glyn says, how many Nazgul can you get in addition to the required Necromancer for 700 points? I'm not sure on that. I think, did I hear someone say it was 850? Is it 850? I might be wrong. I'm sure someone can tell you in the chat there, Glenn, but I think it was 850. Glenn's already signed up, filled in my faction. That's it. Yeah, good man. I sent it to you, Glenn, because I knew you'd be on the ball and hit me up with any issues that you had. So thank you very much. Dave's in. How you doing, Dave? Coslet. Hey mate, I hope you're well. I am well. I hope you're well, mate. It's been too long. We need to catch up. If you're at a loose end, mate, 6th and 7th of November, fly over to Manchester. I'd buy you a pint. Come and hang out. I really like those army stat options. Yeah, it's super cool. I had a look at the Marvel stat recorder, and I just found it really interesting. I mean, they've been using it for Marvel quite a while now, so there's a lot of stats, and obviously Middle Earth is it's a little bit different, but it'll still work. But it's going to take, I reckon, if people start using it after about 6 months, you'll have a good idea of what the meta is. It'll tell you what the meta is, and also it's all very statrific. It's one of those. That's a word, right? It's a word. Statrific is a word. But yeah, people will love that, and I just think it's cool that it's there. If people want to look at it, it's there rather than asking every tournament, oh, what was the top 3 factions. You can just look and it's there. It tells you. I'll be in for pizza. Saves going elsewhere. I'm the same, Nathan. I mean, I'm not a massive Domino's fan. It's all right. There's far better pizzas out there, but it's the Saturday night. I'm probably going to be half cut. It's just easy, isn't it? I'll just bring some Rennies and I'll be sound. Is that curry place still around the corner, Steve? Mr. Ali's closed down for a bit. I think it's still there. But I would have chose Mr. Ali's as the nighttime get together, because I always like the idea at Scourings in the past when there were like 40-50 people. I always arranged a meal out somewhere. Like when it was here in Altrincham, we went for an Italian, which was probably the best post event meal that I've been to, like with everyone there. Not post event, like the Saturday night. But that was only like I think 30 odd of us went. But with 100 people, it's just not feasible. There's not going to be anywhere that I can book for 100 people like that. Which is a shame, but it is what it is. Sean says, gutted I won't be there for the Saturday night socials. Looking forward to the games though. Oh, that's a shame, man. That is a shame. Tom says, 3 days till the Lego wedding and our car is on death's door. Oh no, was sent the wrong part from Germany and running around trying to find a replacement. The mother of all bodge jobs. Mate, it'll all come together on the day. Trust me, you'll make it work. You'll make it work. You'll look back at these stressful times and you'll laugh. Andrew says, late in, another long day at work. Hope everyone is well. Same, mate. I've had a grim day. I don't think you can see it, Andrew, but your trees are on there. They're not in place yet. I've been adding little extended tree trunks to them. So I'll need to do that. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'll have to get it done. Jake says, I've submitted my list. I haven't got the return email with the long shots. No, because I've only just decided to do it that way. I was trying to think of a way of getting the link to everybody without putting it in a public forum, so that you always get random people just, I don't know why people do stuff like that, but they just sign up to it just for the hell of it. And I didn't want to do that because it just makes my life really difficult. So it'll be over the next few days. Probably by Friday. They should all be done. But yeah, don't worry. If you've sent your list in, you'll get it. Don't worry. Harry's in. It says, evening, ladies and gents. How you doing, Harry? Good to have you, my friend. I hope you're well. Looking forward to seeing you, man. Right, caught up on the chat. What was my next? What do they call it? Point of interest. Yeah, lists in Longshanks. Yeah, so to go over, if you have just joined, we're going to be using a browser-based event organizer called Longshanks. Link is in the chat. Dig it out, register, and when you send me your list, I will reply to that email with a link which will sign you up for the event. When you sign up for the event, all you've got to do is choose the faction that you're playing, and that is it. Is this a question coming from Sean? Just wondering how WYSIWYG are these events. I tend to model my minis with as many options as I can. If some models have bows in their back, could I say these don't have bows, for example? What I'd say to that, Sean, is I'm not overly strict, but if you've got, let's just say as an example, I'll use Rangers of Gondor as an example, because you've got to pay for the spear, right? With Rangers of Gondor, am I thinking of that right? I can't remember. If you had 10 Rangers of Gondor, all modelled with spear, let's say, and only 5 of them are paid for the spear, I think it would be unfair to say, oh, those 5 have not got spears. But if you've got 10 Rangers of Gondor and you've not paid for any spears, saying, oh, all them Rangers of Gondor, even though the model was spears, ain't got spears, I think that's fair enough, because you know what I'm getting at, right? That'll probably be the easier way to do it. If you're unsure, drop me a PM. One of the ones that I don't get a chance to read. Or in fact, send an email to the list. To the list email. Is it Scouring 2021 at gmail.com? It's on the event page. If you send a question to there, I probably check that more often than I'm going through all my messages, because my messages is just crazy. So yeah, send it to that, and any pictures. But if you're saying, if the models that you're saying is if you're using an exact reference, so you've got models that have got bows on them but they've not paid for bows, as long as there's not other models that look the same that you have paid for bows for, you'll be fine. I think everyone in the chat will agree that's fine. It's only if there's, there can be a mix up. You're like, oh well, I thought that one didn't. You're like, no, it was that one over there. And you're like, oh, flipping it, right, okay. Dale says, Steve, you comfortable with spectators or not? I'm not yet confident enough with the rules to enter, but I'd love to see some. Of course, mate. Yeah, not a problem at all. Come down, mate. More than welcome. You just walk in. If anyone asks you at the shop, because basically the gaming hall is closed to the public, but if you just say, Steve said I can come as a spectator, they'll let you in. They probably won't even ask you. But just in case they do, just say, yeah, Steve said I can come as a spectator. But yeah, come and say hi, mate. It'd be good to see you. Looking forward to coming down. We'll be submitting my list the next day or so, I reckon. Yeah, no problem, Harry. I hope they are, Nathan. I hope Harry is getting them England hooligan ruffians out. All right. I was reading that then, Harry, thinking, Secret Friday event? What's this kind about? Are you going somewhere else before you come into me? Right, I get what you mean now. Nick says, hey, Steve, I can't find the new legions in Longshanks. Just pick the closest faction for now. Yes, because you can change it. The legions should be on there, because he messaged me today. Let me have a look. God, I've got a stupid amount of windows open on my computer. Just have a look here now. Yeah, they're on there. Which one? Is it one of the new ones? The new ones might not be on there, because I know you put them on yesterday. If it's pick the closest, it doesn't really matter at this stage. But you can change it, so don't worry about that. But pick the closest one. Let me know which one it is as well, so that I can let him know. You're not bringing them, Harry. Wounded. Yeah, Glenn. Top secret, mate. Top secret. And aside to that, says Dale, anyone in the chat, Shropshire, South Staff, West Mids clubs that play regular to point me towards? I'm not on Facebook, which I'm quickly realizing is holding me back a bit. It is, mate. Do you know what I'd do? And he's in the chat now. Mr. Mark Greentree used to tune in like an absolute legend to all the streams that we did and watched all the videos and commented on all our videos. And he was never on Facebook, and we took the pee out of him for so long. But I kind of understand why people don't want to be on Facebook, and that's fine. What I would say is just set up a like dummy account. You could call yourself Mickey Mouse if you wanted to. Don't have to put any personal stuff on there, just to join the groups and catch up on the chat, because the groups are just non-stop every day, just information, people chatting, people sharing stuff. It's great. Special being the operative word. Yeah, looking for Pits of Dolgledore. Yeah, that's one of the new ones. Yeah, just change it closer to the time. Again, it doesn't make any difference to anything to do with me controlling the event and knowing who wins and loses. The only difference it makes is to the stats that the program stores. So yeah, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be on. Pits of Dolgledore will be on before the event, so you can just go in and change it. Is it okay to use a generic wraith as a name one? Ask Lynn. Yes, as long as it's obvious. Like if you've got, again, you know, it's that thing. If you've got 5 wraiths, 5 generic wraiths in your force, and that sounds like a lot, but you know what I'm saying. You've got 5 generic wraiths in your force, and one of them is the Undying, and he doesn't look any different than the others, then that's a bit unfair. But if it's obvious who it is, and you say that's the Undying, go for it. JST makes perfect sense. I would be saying that none of these have bows, as I completely agree. It would be confusing for your opponent. Yeah, that's fine then, mate. Not a problem at all. What are we paying you for, Harry? Sickening. Harry says to Glyn, I converted my Camule from a normal one. Nobody has ever queried it. Also, Ruth Waves. Hey, Ruth. I hope you're well. Hope the ments are getting painted. 160 ruffians. Oh, are you taking them to the event in December? That'd be awesome. That'd be good to see. I have no clue what I'm taking to the Warhammer World event in December. No clue whatsoever. It's 1,000 points though. It's going to be a lot of something, isn't it? Azog. Yeah. I might. Do you know what? I might bring Azog to. I forgot. Yeah, I've got 1,000 points with the trolls and everything. I might bring that. Right. Okay. So what else do I want to cover? So what have we done? We've done food. We've done Longshanks. We've done the list date change. So on the Saturday night, as well as having a pizza and hanging out and having a few beers together and all catching up, which is I think is going to be the main thing for me, just speaking to everybody, and talking about the games that we've had and the exciting bits of the games and who our MVPs have been and all that, all the stuff us nerds love. We're going to be doing a Middle-earth quiz. So it will be a quiz, a team quiz. So you can get yourself into teams of, I think, up to 6 or something like that will be fine. But we're not too fussy. As long as we don't have a team of 20 people, that just gets a bit silly. But we would say about like a team of 6 would be fine. I'll have a quiz set up, and I'll be doing a quiz through the night, and the winning team will win a round of drinks at the bar. It's just for a bit of fun. And I am really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward just to hanging out with you guys. I'd be more than happy for you guys just to turn up. 100 of you turn up, and I go, yeah, the event's off. Let's just all get smashed. That would be right up my street. So there's going to be a quiz on the Saturday night. And then somebody asked me also about the first round draw. Am I going to be doing it on the morning, or is it going to be done prior to the event? So I always do the first round draw prior to the event, and I'll probably do it like this. I'll probably do a live stream, and I'm just going to go old school. I'm just going to, in fact, Longshanks does it for me. So I was going to say I'll start drawing them out of a hat. What I'll do is I'll do it live on here, and I'll screen grab Longshanks as I click create first round, because the first round is it's random. First round is random. So you could be playing anyone. So I'll do the first round live, and we'll probably do that. Let me have a think now. So 6th and 7th, it'll probably be midweek on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, or the Thursday before. I'll give people enough notice. I'm not sure what I've got on work-wise next week. I need to have a look. I'm trying to put stuff off because I could do with at least 3 or 4 days off work before the event, to be honest, just to get things finished. Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. You can join. You can all start smack talking each other, and see who you're drawn against, and you'll be able to go on Longshanks and be able to see what faction they're bringing. There is going to be something in the future where the lad has said he's going to work out how to actually attach lists to the factions. So, for instance, when I do the draw, it won't be in time for this one, but it might be in time for the Scouring in March. When I do a draw, when I do the first round draw, you might be Nathan v Glyn, and Glyn might think, oh, all right, what's Nathan got? Because I want to smash him. I want to see what he's got, so I know what I'm in for. He can go on Longshanks and click his name, and it'll come up with. I'm hoping it will be just a click and the list is there, but it's more than likely going to be a link to a list on a third party thing. But we're going to work that out. I may have to pay for the hosting for that, which is not a lot anyway, but I'm willing to do it if people want it. But it might not be in play for this one because it's so close, and we'll just try to get everything else ironed out. But that'll be super cool. So I'll do the live draw prior to the event, and you can see who you're playing, and yeah, get yourself all worked up. I have been working on. We've got the usual cool prizes at Scouring. I'm always very proud of the prizes that we have at Scouring. We've got some wetter stuff for most sporting. We've got some painting stuff from Army Painter for best painted, and I also like to do like a best themed army. So the best themed army is normally I'll decide it as well as whoever's with me on the day, and Mr. Matt Woods. Some of you guys know Matt, some of you guys don't know Matt. He's been on some videos in the past. He's been on some live streams way back. He's a pal of mine. He lives locally, and he's probably going to get a little bit more involved in the channel as time goes on, which is really good and takes a little bit of pressure off me. But he's going to be there at the weekend, so please do give him a pat on the back, buy him the odd drink. He's going to be doing all that stuff that I'm useless with. And what was I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so make sure you say hello to him. Prizes, me and Matt deciding on best theme, but the most sporting is obviously the most sporting. That's a vote, and the best painted will be voted by you guys. We'll set up all the armies, I think, on one of the days. It's on the rules pack. I can't remember if it's the Saturday or the Sunday. But the winners, podiums, will get. I did this on the last Scouring, and I really loved it. I just thought it was a great idea, and I need to try and get some play. I may get the plinths, I may not. There's 3 of these. There's a bronze one as well, but I've only got 2 hands. So it's wetter golems, gold, silver, and bronze for first, second, and third. And then some of the cool stuff. We've got like certificates and all that malarkey. I've got some extra bits and bobs, which I'm hoping to do some spot prizes. There's a couple of things that I'm waiting on in the post that I've been waiting on for 2 weeks and they've not arrived yet, which is really annoying. But there's a couple of other things that I want to do. But if you've been to Scouring, you know the score. It's always cool. Prizes are always really good, but that's not what we come for. We come just to hang out and take part. Was he in the chat? Glyn says, multiple race. Mark says, absolutely get on Facebook. Just make up a fake name like I did. My name isn't Green Tree. What? It really is. Like I say, I do understand why a lot of people don't like Facebook or don't want to be on Facebook, and it's not always just like, people want to be secretive. Like, it's a bit iffy, but I get it. But I mean, I just use it for nerd stuff and record, pictures. I can go back. The good thing about Facebook is I can go back on Facebook since I joined, and I've seen my kids growing up and stuff. So it's really cool for that. It's just good to keep in touch. Great advice, Steve. Thanks, bud. No problem, mate. No trolls in the Legendary Legion. Sad face, but lots of 2-attack Hunter Orcs. True that. There's a lot of options, isn't there? Yeah, I mean, it's a good list anyway. Even not the Legendary Legion list is freaking awesome though. I'll tell you what I did do yesterday on the board, which is not finished. I was that intrigued, right? Because I've got and I've got the Azog army on this shelf here, and I've got Mirkwood Rangers down there. I think it works out with Tauriel and Legolas and the Rangers that I've got and one Sentinel. It was about 470 points. So I went on Lonely Knights army builder, put Azog on a White Warg, and then just built. I think it was whatever the points value was I had in Rangers. I equated it to Azog's Legendary Legion and built 2 forces. And I just played a game myself like a proper loser. And all I can say is I didn't even get into combat. Now all the trees aren't on the board, that's a given, but there's a lot of rock faces and rocky outcrops to hide behind. It got to the point where there was Azog and I think 4 warriors. Just 4 Orc warriors left, and I just thought, oh, that's a bit grim. So I think that Ranger army is something else. That's why people who do play, if anyone plays against the Rangers army at the weekend, I've not seen any come through yet on the list that I've had. But if anyone does, do you know what? I bet not a lot of people have got that many Rangers painted, so you probably won't see them unless people are frantically painting them away now. But it's going to be a tough army, that, and it's an army that I'm thinking of doing just for the hell of it. I'm not sure how much fun it will be though for the opponent. I think it's like the Rangers of Pavilion. There may be a few nerfs on it. It's amazing. It's amazing. But anyway, the point I was making is if you do come up against it, you're going to be glad you come up against it at Scouring on one of my boards, because my boards are busy and there's a lot of terrain to hide behind. So you'll be thanking me for that. Glyn says to Sean, I think I developed a tick with Azog getting more buffs. He's even more of a monster. Smashed Goblin Town the other day with it and ended the game with 5 might still. This is very true. This is very true, Sean. And I'm with you. I think it's an awesome, awesome list. But he's defense 5. He can't, with 1 fate, he can die very easily. 1 bad roll and he's in trouble. A bit sad, but no one got my Highlander reference. There can only be 1. I love Highlander. They're supposed to be remaking it, aren't they? Nathan says, torn between Great Beast Swarm or something else that will leave me on the fun tables. I just don't have time for a 4th. Glenn says to Sean, if I ever kill Azog, I'd celebrate like I won the lottery. It's not as hard as you think, you know. I think Azog, do you know what I think Azog does? I think when you put Azog down, it scares your opponent, especially if they're not like that. What's the word? If they've not been to that many events and played different armies, because you tend to find when you're playing in your local friend groups, you're playing against the same armies, because most people have 1 or 2 armies, so you're playing against them same armies all the time. So if you play against someone who's never come up against an Azog's Legion, and you whack Azog down on his White Warg, and he's this like fight 7, strength 5 beast with 6 might, with Master of Battle, they're just like, oh, and it scares them. They just don't know what to do against it. But there's ways to deal with him. There's ways to. I'm not gonna give a tips away, Sean. You know, because I might play you one day. But you know how it is. Just keep rolling 6s. Yeah, they need to make you. They need to make you use that might. Get through that. Make him get through that might. If he's low on might, he'll start. Oh, should I? Shouldn't I? Yeah, make him use that might. Shoot the warg. Transfix him. That's what I'd do. That's what I'd do. So, oh yes, that's the other thing as well. So the first 25 people who bought a ticket to the next Scouring, which is in March, I'll probably do that book draw when I do the first round live draw and give the book away at the weekend, because I think if the person's there, if not, I'll post it. But that's another thing I would just like to say. Thank you so much. There's probably a lot of you guys, because I know it's a lot of same people that are going to Scouring in a couple of weeks who have bought tickets for Scouring in March. Thank you so much. That was mind-blowing. 100 tickets sold out, and I think there are, let me have a look, where is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 26 people. 26 people on the reserve list. That's insane. The tickets sold out in whatever it was, 6 hours or something like that. That's crazy. And I don't think I ever got a chance at the time because I was so busy. I had to return a load of people's payments because they paid after the 100 went and break the news that they weren't coming, which was horrible. But yeah, it's just been manic. But thank you so much, everyone who supports Scouring. I really do appreciate it. It's as long as I keep getting the support, I'll keep doing it. I'll just keep doing it, and I'll keep trying to improve it and improve it and improve it and improve it as much as I can. So yeah, thank you so much. Azog is a beast, but he's far from invincible. Immobilize and pounce. Yeah, I totally agree. He gets resistance to magic in the new list. Yeah, he's not always going to be in the new list. He's not always going to be in the new list. Just don't give Ruth any tips. She hasn't worked out a counter yet. Ruth, just send one goblin in at a time. One goblin. Make him use the might to heroic combat. There's a start. The team spirit. Don't know if it's already been mentioned. Will there be a way to select 2 forces for alliances on Longshanks, or just yes? So you can choose up to 4. There should be 4 drop-down menus, so you can choose up to 4. So if you've got alliances, just choose one of each. It doesn't do anything with it. It doesn't like there is going to be a thing in the future where it starts telling people if it's a a red alliance or a green alliance, etc., etc. But that's not there yet. So at the minute, just choose what you're doing, and it's basically for at the end of the event we can look back at stats and we can see how well Thranduil's Halls have done, and we can see how many kills Gondor have got, and we can see how many times Mordor lost, and etc., etc. So yeah, there is options for that. Did I miss the food announcement? If you're asking, you must have. So basically, Harry, we've got pizza option on the Saturday night, which is a tenner for a large Domino's pizza. There are 5 options. I'm going to post it up again on the event, but it is there. And lunchtime option, it's the same for lunchtime. It's totally optional. You can either go with what these offers are, or you can go out elsewhere. There's loads of places just on the doorstep. On lunchtime on both days, if you pre-book it, it will be there by the time you finish your game before lunch, and you go up and you get 2 sandwiches and a crisp. I think you've been to events, Harry, before at Elements. You know the score. It's 2 sandwiches and a packet of crisps, and it's a £5. It just saves going out and faffing about. But I'll put it all this I'll put in one post, nice and clear and precise, and you can see it. What I would like you guys to do is if you know anyone that's coming, I'll keep saying it, if you know anyone that's coming to the event and they're not in the chat, can you make sure they either watch this video or they go on the event page and read the post that I put up after this stream. It may not be directly after this stream, it may be tomorrow morning. But make sure they're registered on the event page, because all that will happen is there are lazy people. I'm one of them people. It's always me. It's always me. Like, I'm lazy. But there are other lazy people who anything that gets held up. So if I get any army lists late, they haven't got the link to the Longshanks event until I have 100 lists signed up to Longshanks. We can't start the event. So it's going to hold everyone up. So it's in all our interest to make sure all our friends who we know are coming are on the event page, are registered, have clicked going, so they'll get notifications every time I post something up, and they'll always be up to date. Glenn's just reiterating what I was saying. 3 heroic combats in the new legendary. Yeah, that's grim. That's grim. Sean says, I'm tempted to get some Mirkwood Rangers now. I think Mirkwood Rangers might go out of stock pretty quick. They're insane. Insane. I didn't even get chance to use all the other special rules, all that, like replenish if you're on a tree and shield. There was no combats. Before we got into combats, I'd wiped out 2/3 of the army. Insane. Insane. But it was on a fairly open board. There you go. but you have to go. So if they're shooting, yeah, depending on the scenario, obviously. Um, but if that was like Lords of Battle or something like that, and they're just shooting at you, you've got to go to them. You've got to engage them because they're just gonna keep shooting you. Um, and it was like, what was it, 20 something shots, strength 3, at defense 5. Grim. Um, yeah, Glenn's just. I was tempted to buy Hobbit minis, but I shall endure and fade into Lord of the Rings armies. Will the Manchester Derby be screened whilst we're there? I have little interest, but would. Do you know what? Honestly, I didn't realise because the event's been booked. The event was booked for that date before the fixture list came out. Um, I'm dreading the Derby, dreading it. Like United are not in a good spot at the minute. I'm not going to get into football. It is what it is. But I'll be glad of the distraction. Let's put it that way. I'll be watching it, but it won't be on the big screen. We won't be allowed to put it on the big screen because of licenses and things like that in Element Games. But no doubt I'll have it on. You'll know if I'll either be smiling or crying, one of the two. Sean says, I must admit I prefer Lord of the Rings armies as a whole, Glyn. I think most people do. I don't have a problem with the Hobbit armies whatsoever. I like the whole range. But I wasn't one of them who had a problem with the movies. I quite like the movies. I prefer the Lord of the Rings. I think they're a bit more gritty and a bit more realistic for me. As realistic as trolls and wizards can be. But you know what I mean. Vault Wardens counter Azog, anything D8 and not a hero. Doesn't Azog wound everything on a 4? I think you got like the Aragorn rule. I've not got the armies book to hand, have I? No, it's over there on the shelf, and I'm not going all the way over there for it. I'm sure Azog wounds as an. Does that Azog not have an automatic wound? I'm sure he does. But yeah. So if you've got any more questions on Scouring, please do get it in the chat now. If you've got anything else you want to talk about Middle Earth related, get it in the chat now. I'll stay on for a little bit. I've still got tea left. It's a little bit cold because I forgot to drink it, but there we go. But yeah, generally I am super duper excited. I really can't wait. I really can't wait. It's like I feel like I've had 2 years of nothing. No events, no socials, no gaming, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, I've got a meet up this weekend at Warhammer World, Scouring of Cheshire, and then another trip to Warhammer World for the Warhammer Middle Earth event in December. I'm really excited. Oh, do you know what? There's one thing that I will touch on. A lot of what happens with Scouring, as in the way it's ran, the vibe of it, the thematic boards, trying to sort of transport you to so for instance the Bree board. I love playing on the Bree board. When I play on the Bree board, like, you know, I'm just picturing that it's raining and I want to transport you guys there like it does to me. The dream is to have an event where you walk along the tables and you start, you know, on that road where Gandalf's coming up on his car and Frodo meets him and tells him that he's late. And as you walk to the next board, it's Hobbiton, and then, you know, the next board, a little bit the outskirts of Hobbiton, and, you know, the watermill, and, you know, stuff like that. And the further you go, you get all the way to Mordor and Mount Doom. So every board or every other board is that journey in chronological order. That's my dream event. I've shown a bit of knee there. Do apologise. That's my dream event. It's almost a reality. There's anyone who's in the Top Table Gaming Patreon group will have heard me banging on about this for probably 12 months. The Scouring of Cheshire is the first ever event that I ever hosted. I wanted to create an event that I would like to attend, and I think I've done that. And Scouring of Cheshire is going nowhere. Scouring of Cheshire is still going to be a thing every year, and it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. What I've done is I've took everything that I've learned from the Scouring of Cheshire, doing YouTube channel and doing videos and meeting new people and other tournament organisers from different systems. And also I have made a very good friend in someone who is far more obsessed with Tolkien and Lord of the Rings than I am, and also has a massive interest in the movies and has a business recreating movie props. And we've got together and we've decided to put an event on, which we're going to bring my skills, that building boards and creating that atmosphere and getting people involved, with his skills of being able to mass produce things on a bigger scale in a venue which he owns, and also create something around, so it's not just a SBG event. There are things going on around the event that I've not seen anywhere else, and I think would struggle to see anywhere else. But you'll walk in, it will be like walking into a market in Hobbiton, or more, the more your pillars around you, and there'll be barbecues outside, and it'll be outside Bag End, and staff walking around dressed up in Middle Earth clothing. There'll be rooms you can go in and you can see all the movie props. You can walk around Weathertop. All this sounds like it's out there. I know how it sounds. It sounds like it's out there, and like, what is this guy on about? Trust me, I've seen things in the last few months that have blown my mind. Things that I didn't think were possible. We tried to do a smaller version this year in December, but we were going with that, and just as we were about to announce it, we had a little bit of a wobble and we had a little bit of a chat, and we decided that we didn't want to put on a mini version of it. We didn't want to just give people little bits of it, because it wouldn't portray the image of what it is that we want to do to people. We wanted to go the whole hog. So that is next year, and we're hoping summertime. We do have a date in mind, but I'm not going to announce the date yet. But I will be doing a announcement video probably in the new year, early new year, January, with my pal, and we'll have some stuff there to show you. The Top Table Gaming patrons have already seen some blueprints of stuff, which is crazy, like insane. It's going to be super cool. But there's going to be a lot going on around the event. The event is going to be a part of what that weekend will be. Be a 3 or 4 day weekend. And you just transport you there. There'll be market stalls, there'll be merchandise, there'll be things going on that you can participate in. Even if you're not a gamer, you can bring your kids, you can bring your missus. They'll have things to do to keep them busy all weekend. It's gonna be amazing. And when he first approached me and we got talking, and we were suggesting things to each other, and I was kind of saying, well, what's going to make it different to every other event? And he was going, well, we could do this, and we could do this, and we could do that. And I was like, can we though? And he was like, well, yeah. And then he made some of the things happen, and it's just super exciting. So there will be an announcement for that. But what I would say is, keep some of your weekends free in June, is what I'd say, next year. But there'll be a full announcement coming. But yeah, June is where we're looking at. That's as much as I'm going to say on that. Anyone who knows me will know that I've probably said way too much already. So I'm going to dive back in the chat and let's talk about SBG. But yeah, it's super exciting. I'm gonna start dropping things. If you're not on the Top Table Gaming community Facebook group, get over there, because that's where it will go first. So Top Table Gaming Community Facebook group. My patrons will get the heads up before anyone else. They already know what's coming. I've had numerous meetings, and I can't keep a secret. It's well known, and I'm busting at the seams to speak to people about it. Busting at the seams. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Glyn says only heroes, and it's a 3+. But that's fine, right? 3+ on heroes. I mean, you go in against normal troops, unless like they're elites. He's fine anyway. Heroes on a 3+. Azog wounds all heroes on a 3+. No Moretti, and where's the whip threat? Basic Kents would give him trouble. They would. They would. He's not indestructible. He's a beast, but he's not indestructible. Not Scouring related, but is there any update on? Well, I didn't say the name on purpose, Nathan, but seeing as you've said it, Tolcon. Tolcon is happening in June. And myself and my pal Andy will do a fancy live stream with lots of stuff going on behind us, and we'll have physical things in our hands to show you, and blueprints and whip picks on a scale that you've never seen. Let's put it that way. I've seen some of the stuff he's been doing, and it's blown my mind. Where are we? Sean says, yeah, I'm actually nervous about those Ents, especially with their brutal strikes. Can just imagine him being plucked from his warg. I used to beat it to death. I'll take the warg and beat Azog to death with it. Do models need to be fully painted, or will 3 colours be okay? David Messenger, you little rotter, you. Send me some pictures, as long as it's. I mean, are you bringing Isengard? Isengard is pretty much 3 colours anyway, which is like Uruk flesh, silver, and brown. So that'll be fine. Are you? Am I right in thinking you're bringing Isengard, or are you bringing Rohan? I know you were thinking of the 2, weren't you? Jake says, looking forward to the boards. How many of the boards are specialist and not scatter terrain? There are, I think the number's 16, because I had 18, I had 19, I dismantled 2, and one of them is damaged to the point where I can't be faffed repairing it, so I'm gonna repurpose it. So there is 16 actual boards, but then I have terrain, which is Middle Earth based, probably for about another 5 or 6 boards. But I have been the Element Games. One of the things about me and playing this game is I really, really, really have a thing against a gaming map with 5 pieces of terrain on it, 1 in the middle and 1 in each corner. It really bugs me. It really does irk me. And I think we've come a long way in most cases from that. So I was talking to Element Games, and they've made sure they've actually invested and got a load of new stuff, and it's all kind of Middle Earthy stuff. They're fully aware that Scouring is now one of the bigger, most popular events on their calendar, and they want to cater to that. They want it to keep being there. They want the players to have as much fun as possible. And I've kind of reiterated that as I build more and more tables, the need for that will be less and less from them. But at the moment, I still need them to make up probably 50% of the boards, and I don't want them to be that generic style board. There may be 1 or 2 like that. If we come to points where it gets to the point where you've got to get a board out there. But they've assured me that that may not be the case. So yeah, so there's a lot of custom boards. In March there'll be a lot more, and in June your minds will be blown. Let's put it that way. If you want an idea of the type of terrain that's going to be at Tolcon, have a look at if you come into the event, the Amanhem board. That was basically, the Amanhem board is like an advert for what you can expect at Tolcon, and you start in the Shire and work your way through to Mount Doom, with the odd Hobbit board thrown in there as well. Yeah, it's going to be something else. Glenn says, yeah, paint your entrance roof. I'll go get some sticks from outside as proxy. Can I be at a barbecue? Says J Matt. This is true. This is true. That's the thing. The other thing with Tolkien, everything will be on site. There is no reason. You can if you want, but there will be no reason for you to leave where it is. He owns the building. He owns the grounds. It's a really unique building. It's yeah, it's a really nice building. It used to be like a consulate. I won't say which one because you'll be able to Google it and you'll be able to see it. But it used to be a consulate many moons ago for a European country in Manchester, and then he bought the building and turned it into a nightclub. So it was a nightclub, which I frequented. Weirdly enough, when I met him, I was like, I've been here before, and I wasn't in a good state when I was here. But yeah, I've frequented it as a nightclub, and then now he rents it out as photography studios, and he runs his business creating movie props from there, and he does all the Comic Cons and things like that. So he's got like a lot of background in like obviously Lord of the Rings, Tolkien stuff, Judge Dredd, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. He dabbles in, and he's got a lot of friends in the industry, and a lot of friends who we all know and love. I'll say that much. But yeah, we had this idea for it's in the summer. That was one of the reasons why we didn't do it in December in the end, because we had this vision of the Saturday night is outside. There's a few campfires going. There's like Shire themed tents, like canvases, benches, barbecues going. We're always having fun and playing silly Middle Earthy games, or people can be inside practicing with their armies, or people can be upstairs in the ballroom watching the movie in 4K on a cinema-sized screen. That's where we're at with it at the moment. That's where we're at, and all those things are in place. They're all there. They're not things that we want to do. They're things that are definitely happening. There is a list as long as my arm of things that we yet to announce that we just need to finalize. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting. But I have a feeling it's that we've not really got a cap on numbers because he owns the building, and it's a big old building, and he's got 2 floors. But I have a feeling it will go quick. If I had nothing to do with it, and someone announced it and said they were going to have the things that I know we're going to have, I'd be all over it like a rash. I'd be like a rat up a drain pipe trying to get a ticket. It's going to be pretty economical as well, like financially. It's not going to be silly money. That was one of the things that was the main thing. That was one of the main things that we said. We didn't want it to be daft money. She laughed at that, Glenn, says Sean. I watched Sword Battle Report with him versus Eagles, and he got smashed to pieces. You see things. Yes, I have a 5th sense, mate. Love the sound of this event, says Sean. Thank you, man. I hope to see you guys there. I would love to see you guys there. The chat's just gone a bit funny. Oh, man. Where is it? There we go. David Coleman, how you doing, mate? He says, what's the crack? It's good to have you in. We've got 34 people in. If any of you have just joined us, we have covered the food for the Saturday night and the lunches for the Saturday and Sunday, which are all optional. You don't have to sign up for them. You can go elsewhere and sort yourself out. I have said it before. Someone will probably update you in the chat, but there will be a post going up either tonight or in the morning, which covers every sort of bullet point and how you apply yourself to it on the event page. So make sure you're on the event page. You clicked go in so you get notified. I think the main thing other than the food was that we're going to be using Longshanks, which is an event organizer, which you can input your scores from your phone, from the table with your opponent at the end of each game, and it just makes things a lot easier and run a lot smoother. So that was the main thing. And you will get a link to sign up. You need to register with Longshanks. The link is in the chat if you go all the way back up to the top. Register on Longshanks, and when you send me your army list, I will reply within a couple of days with a link to the Scouring of Cheshire event. You just sign up, you put in what factions you're playing, and that is it. And then all you do then on the day is you sign into your Longshanks, and it will tell you that you've signed up for Scouring of Cheshire. You click Scouring of Cheshire, and it will tell you who you're playing in the next round, and you put your scores in at the end. And that is it. It's dead easy. There's nothing hard about it. It's really easy. Michael Haskell's in. Evening all. Just finished my last work. What's MTG of the day? So a bit late. MTG. But welcome, Mr. Maskell. You are more than welcome. Sean, picture twig grew. You're talking about sort of making proxy ents now with bits of woodland. No holidays in June, guys. I had to decipher the Scottish then, J Mac. It took me a minute. Sean says sounds perfect. Might look better than some of those GW ents too. I really like them GW ents, Shawnee. Has Ruth got the new ones? The new ones are pretty tasty. See you in June, says Ruth. That'll be great. Glenn says sign me up for that. Dave Walker, very, very excited to get the new Witch King. It's a cool model. Cool model. He is up there with how many have I got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 Castellans of Dol Guldur, which I started painting about 5, 6 years ago. And whilst I was painting him, I decided to get some paint on those as well. So it is a really nice model. Jake says, when will it be announced? I want to be there. Probably, we'll give people enough warning. It won't be when we announce it. What I've learned from the scouring is I don't think it's fair to just put a video out going, this is what we're doing. Get here, get your tickets straight away. I think we'll announce it with no release date for the tickets, and then do a like a heads up. So tickets are going on sale on whatever day at such and such a time. I think that's the fairest way to do it. So everyone's had a chance to see it, and everyone will have a chance to get a ticket if they want one. But yeah, I'm so excited, like so excited by it. I'm super pumped at the minute, hobby wise and events wise. There's so much going on, And it's like that's just Middle Earth. So I've got November event, March event, June event. That's just Middle Earth. Next year we're going to be doing a 40k event. Not the first 40k event. Top Table we've done one before, but similar to that, but aimed at like newer players, thematic narrative players rather than that hardcore a list that will kill all over list type event. We're not really into that. And what was the other one? Marvel's coming. So Matt, as I said before, Matt is going to be helping out on the channel. He loves Marvel Crisis Protocol, so he said, do you mind if I start sorting some stuff out for that? And I'm like, no. So he's going to teach me how to play because I refuse to read a rule book. We'll probably have a few games, but they were hoping to run a TTG fun Marvel Crisis Protocol event at Element next year as well. So there's loads going on, and that's only up until June. There's more stuff happening after that, which I'll discuss. There's no point even mentioning it now, but I'll discuss at some point later, early in the new year. Nick says, everyone buy him a pint at Scouring and he'll spill the beans. Tolcon, gimme. There's no C in it. It's sorry, there's no K in it. It's just Tol-con. And we've not decided if it's going to be a C or a K yet. Well, we have decided, but I'm not going to tell you. That's all I'm going to say. But also, here's the you know the score, Nathan. You know the score. Orcs now too. Send me some pictures, man. I'm fully confident that they'll look fine. Send me some pictures, David. Mind blown. No one can take ring wraiths. Black is one color, right? Or Army of the Dead and Wizards. Well, my Army of the Dead are multiple colors. They've got purples, greens, blues, whites, all sorts on there. You must take the Black Riders, says Sean, so at least the horses can be painted dark brown. Steve, what board have you not done yet but really, really want to? Well, so the one which is there, which I've said I'm not going to get finished. I have actually done it before, but I've got rid of it. It was one of the first boards that I did, and I really wanted this one ready for November, but it's not going to be. It'll be ready for March. But the Buckleberry Ferry board, I really want the Buckleberry Ferry board to be done, and I want it to look awesome. So that one, and then I suppose the main one that I can't wait to make that I didn't realise that I wanted to make it until I seen the stuff that my mate Andy was doing is Ravenhill. The Ravenhill board is going to be mega. And it's going to be nice because it's a Hobbit theme board rather than a Lord of the Rings theme board. But it is just going to be so instantly recognizable what it is. You can see it from afar, you'll know what it is. Like, it's going to look great. There's, you know, snow involved, ice, stuff that I've not worked with that much. So I suppose that one, but like the little sort of Lord of the Rings geek inside me is all about Buckleberry Ferry. But there's loads. You could sit here and you could think of a different one every couple of minutes. Like, yeah, I want to make that one. I want to make that one. I don't know if you probably remember it, Michael. Do you remember the one I made again many moons ago? And it was the Erebor board, and it had the room painted gold where the statue had melted, and they trapped Smaug in there. And it was really basic. It was really naff. But I do have a big again, it's boards that I've built a long time ago and I don't have anymore, and I want to rebuild, and my skill level is up to bit, and I think back and I think I can do that, but I can do that so much better. Kind of like that. I had this idea of redoing that one, and the room where the statue melts is having it half melted, sort of sticking out the ground. And the melted, rather than, because I just sprayed it gold, so it looked like it was just like a gold room. I'd probably melt some resin and try and get some gold paint or something in there that's gold, so I can get all like the ripples and stuff. And I just think it looks super cool. What kind of board? What boards would you want to see at the event, at Scouring or at Tolcon? What kind of boards would you want to see? Let me know. And of the boards you've done, which is the one you've been most pleased with? The new Ammenhem board. It's my I think it's probably my best board that I've done. I love it. I love it. I do not know what on the Swedger means, J-Mac. I haven't got a clue. Can we costume though? Of course. I fully expect it. There's going to be cosplayers there and everything. I fully expect it. If you don't cosplay, do you even cosplay, mate? Like, you got to. We can costume, of course. How many people can go? Lots. Talking about numbers is always really odd for me because it kind of feels a bit presumptuous. So what if we have an event the size of Scouring, as the size that Scouring is now, there, if the event is the size that Scouring is now, we'd probably only take up 3/5 of the space. No, that's a lie. 2/5 of the space. Because it's a whole building and grounds. So, and it used to be, like I say, it used to be like a big consulate. So it's a mansion, right? It is a mansion, but it's not like a, you know, it's got character. Let's put it that way. And it used to be a nightclub. So you can imagine if it was a nightclub, you got the whole area that was downstairs, which is a nightclub. But then that's mirrored upstairs, and that's what at the moment is his own private cinema room, like 4K cinema projector, big thing on the wall, all surround sound. But we can use that room if we need to as well, which will be amazing. So numbers, I don't want to be really presumptuous because people might not get. I hope they do, because I've been putting a hell of a lot of work into it. But people might not get on board with it. People might not come. But I think the hope is that we not only get people who are gamers. The hope is to get Tolkien enthusiasts to come as well, because it isn't just about the tournament. The game is only going to be part of what it is, but it's going to be a big part, so it's going to be massive, and people are going to want to take part in this event as well as be there and do all the cool stuff. You know, it's axe throwing and archery, and it's just all stuff that, you know, in line with Middle Earth and Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and all that stuff. There's going to be all sorts going on there. Food, like Middle Earth food, lembas bread coming out your ears. It's going to be really cool. This all sounds awesome, mate. It's horrible for me. It's horrible. I've already said way more than I should have said tonight. It's horrible. I hate knowing stuff and not being able to talk to people about it. Dan says, evening, mate. Excited for the Witch King first pre-release. You are, Dan, or are you asking me? I'm excited. I was lucky enough to get one. But I'm excited to see what everyone else's thoughts are on it and how they build it and stuff like that. It is a really nice model. Like, weirdly, this probably does sound weird. I really like the horse. The horse is really, really nice. The detail on the face, the detail on all the straps and everything, really nice. And all the joins on the horse are kind of are along the edge. So where the model clips together, the joins are like along the edge of the strap, so it kind of disguises it. It's really nice. It's really cool. Michael Haskell, costumes. Yes, I expect to see you as a Hobbit, Michael. I'll be upset if you're not. I'm off for the evening chats, but nice to dip in for a bit. Yeah, take care, Harry. I look forward to seeing you again, mate. Dave says, can't complain. Doing some final painting for next weekend. Hyped to be back over. Yeah, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good to see everyone, especially you guys coming over. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for the shout out. Got me in touch with the local community. Not a problem, my friend. Not a problem. Sean says, any suggestions for getting a cheap horn to convert a hunter orcs to one with a war horn? Just make one, mate. Just make one. A bit of green stuff. I don't know what your carving skills are like. Carve one. Have a bit of sprue, bit of plastic. The thing about horns, they don't have to be curved, do they? They don't have to be curved. Or if you've got any like old models that are like beasts with like horn, like, you know, with actual horns, just cut a horn off. I'm trying to think what would work. There's not that many models because they're all command pack models, aren't they? That have got horns in Middle Earth. Show someone else in the chat. If Frederick was here, he'd be all over that like a rash. He converts all sorts. I'm already bribing Steert Scouring with baked goods. J-Mac, as someone who hasn't played since the return of the King rulebook, how easy will it be to get back into the tournament scene? Really easy, mate. Really, really easy. The rules have changed a bit. There's additions to the rules. They're more streamlined. But if you're anything like me, you learn from doing, not from reading. The amount of people, new players, that just go to an event and they've not even played a game, and come away from that weekend after playing 5 games with a lot more knowledge, know how to play. And you've already got the background from playing it from the old edition. And it's the same game. It's just been ironed out. All them sort of weird rules that didn't make any sense have been ironed out. And the community is awesome, which you've probably seen in the chat tonight. The community is amazing. Longshanks, was that the name, historical fact, that was the nicknames given to Edward the First before he became king in 1272 because he was on the tall side? It rings a bell. It rings a bell. Didn't they also called Aragorn Longshanks at some point? Was that in the movies? Was that just in the movies? I can't remember. Yep, Glyn. Yep. You beat me to it. We talking weekend or week, and where could people stay if traveling? It will be a long weekend. I'm telling you too much. You keep asking flipping questions. You're not supposed to keep in secret. It'll be a long weekend. There are an absolute ton of hotels and B&Bs, literally walking distance. It's probably 20-minute walk out of the city centre or a 5-minute bus ride out of the city centre, but there's all sorts around locally. Will there be painting and conversion competitions? Where are you talking about? Are you talking at Scouring or at this at Tolcon? If you're talking about Tolcon, yes, there'll be competitions for everything. If you're talking about Scouring, we do have a painting competition at Scouring. Your donation link doesn't seem to work. Yes, somebody else told me that. The last time I live streamed, they sent me a PM saying that it didn't work. I'm not sure why. I've not had time to check it out. And I really do appreciate you clicking that and checking out. By the way, if you want to support the channel, we do have a Patreon. Please check it out. That link does work. I know that link works. And massively appreciate anything you do. If not, I will look into it as soon as I get 5 minutes and fix it. I'm not sure why it doesn't work. Glyn says, you liking the horses nostalgic, Jay liking Rivendell Knights. Yeah, but Rivendell Knight horses are not cool. Like, they're anything but. Like, they're not the best sculpts. They're terrible. Longshanks was the narrator of the Guild Ball rule books. Ah, right, because that, yeah, it was created for Longshanks. Longshanks was created for Guild Ball first, I think. That was the first system on it. Yeah, so if you've got any more questions, guys, get them in the chat. Other than that, I think I'll start winding things up. Appreciate everybody who has joined me tonight. It was a little bit of an impromptu, but there was a lot of questions coming through on my PMs that I just thought was easier to do this and speak to everyone at the same time. Yeah, so let me know what you want to talk about, and we'll have about 15-20 minutes. Thank you, J-Mac. Really appreciate it. Thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Thank you. And I hope to see you around in the Middle Earth event scene, on the Facebook groups and everything like that. That would be awesome. Out of curiosity, J-Mac, you used to play in the Big Blue Rulebook days. How many of your armies have you still got? Did you get rid of them, or have you still got them? I'd be interested to know. Did you play War of the Ring? Are you one of those guys who's got like 1,000 million miniatures in the loft? Let's have a look at the. Did I ask that? Has anyone in the chat used Longshanks before for any other system, for Marvel or for Guild Ball, or I think they cover Malifaux as well, if I'm not mistaken. Where's my link now? I'm one of them guys who doesn't close tabs. I'm worried that if I close the tab, I'll never be able to get to where I was again. It says a lot about me, I suppose, doesn't it? My events. So I've got Nick Kelly and Glyn, who are signed up already. I sent those guys the link. I won't say what faction they are. People can see as they sign up. It's really cool. I think it's going to be really cool for people to get involved in. And if other TOs start using it, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Like the stats involved, super cool. Tolkien got a couple of first age converts I'm happy with. I've got everything. I did play War of the Ring, mate. You've probably got some models there that are now worth an absolute fortune. War of the Ring was really cool, says Sean. I never actually played War of the Ring, but I was around at the time, so I'm not going to repeat myself because I've said it tons. I got into this hobby through my son, who is now in his 20s, when the battle, I think 2 Towers out, because the first set I got him was the Two Towers box set. Got him that, and I'd drop him off at GW on a Sunday. He'd play, I'd pick him back up, but I'd paint with him, and that was my in to the life of a nerd, and I've never looked back. And look at me now. But War of the Ring was around, and I actually remember my first ever visit to Warhammer World was taking my lad to a War of the Ring event at Warhammer World, and I just dropped him off, and I just sat in Bugman's all day drinking, which was great because we got a bus. We had to all meet in Manchester, and we all got a bus together. And I just sat drinking, eating burgers and drinking beer. And that was my first ever visit. So War of the Ring was around, but I never played it. But I am aware that there were some massive holes in it. I think was Magic way OP, and there was just things that didn't add up. I really think at some point, if Middle Earth strategy battle game keeps going from strength to strength like it is, and GW keep investing in it like they seem to be, we've got some of the best kits at the moment on through Forge World. You know, we've got Ammonhem coming up soon. We've got the Weathertop, which is just stunning. We've got Smaug. All the characters that are coming through Forge World. There's a lot of thought gone into it, and the Middle Earth team are always speaking really positively. They're saying they're like 3-4 years, looking 3-4 years ahead. We've got the new Amazon series coming out soon, which even if there isn't a tie-in, is going to help. I think we might get a revisit to War of the Ring. I think mass battle on Middle Earth scale would be something else, and I think with that would bring new plastic troop kits, which is what we all want. It's what we all want. And that would be really amazing. I would love that. I would love that, and I would actually love to have a few games of War of the Ring because I never have played it. That would be a lot of fun. I don't want to admit how many armies I have, but now COVID's over, made me realise I want to dive back in. Dive back in, man. Dive back in. It is such a great hobby. Great system, great community. Yeah, dive back in. You'll love it. You'll love it. Anyone taking one of the new Necromancer Legendary Legions to Scouring next month? There's a couple, Michael. There's a couple. I think Jasmine was thinking about it. I think Ed's bringing one. I've not seen any come through yet, but I'm still waiting on a lot of army lists to come through. Have the Ares board game War of the Ring with all the expansions. I've got. Is it here or is it at the studio? I've got the box set. I don't know about any of the expansions, but the box set's at the studio. I had a ton of Sentinels, but they are being re-released now. So, yeah, they're coming out on Saturday. Brazen War of the Ring was my favorite game. Also, hi by the way, hi Brazen, nice to have you. I'd love to play it. I would love if someone's got the minis painted, and knows the rules, and would like to come and show me how to play at the studio. And we could maybe film it or stream it for fun. I would happily have you over, and we could play some games and yeah, just have a lot of fun with it. I'd love to. I would love to. I think they need to re-release plastic kits or even 6 to 8 model blisters, book hero fatigue. Yeah, I think it's that thing like I just said. So I think my brain tells me that we're with what we've learned from, we're lucky enough in this community that the Middle Earth team do interact with us massively. Like it's great how sort of in with the community they are for Middle Earth, and listening to what things that has been said in the past and things that have been said at seminars and how far ahead they're working. The stuff we're seeing now was probably from 3 years ago. That they were working on, and 3 years ago that they're working on how popular it was then. So yeah, so the popularity needs we're behind. So the release, what we're getting is released. For all we know, Glyn, and this is, I know, by the way, I know nothing, and this is just pure speculation. With where it is now, look at the hobby from pre-COVID, right? We had the Great British Hobbit League YouTube channel. There was one YouTube channel. Then I popped up and started throwing my sort of hat in the ring, if you like. We've now got Lockie, who's got a stupid amount of subscribers. We've got all the other Middle Earth, and there's new Middle Earth channels popping up all the time. I use that as a guide to how popular the game is, because there was one YouTube channel and now there's probably 20 in the space of 3 years ish. I mean, I'm on 2 of them. I'm on 3 of them. So I think for all we know now, the Middle Earth team, they might be designing plastic kits right now. We don't know, but I would like to think so, because that's where the hobby's got to go, right? We've got to be thinking it's going to keep growing and growing and growing, and a hobby that's doing well, a system that's doing well, gets new plastic kits. And yes, we get heroes which are plastic kits. I get that, but I mean like plastic kits, like troops, like 40k does, and Age of Sigmar does, and Warcry does, and things like that. And I think we'll get there. I'm fully confident that we'll get there. Replace the Failcast minis with plastic, and I'll be happy. I cannot stand the stuff. I've got a love-hate relationship with it. I see all its faults and I accept them. I was always a big converter in my day, so when I was converting models Fancast was fantastic for that, because cutting metal models was not fun. Michael says, I only played War of the Ring a handful of times, but liked it. I would love GW to update it at some point down the line. I fully think they will, Michael. I fully think they will. I don't see why they wouldn't. It's a great reason to mass sell a lot of models, but they would have to go down the plastic troop route, I think. So I don't think we're quite there yet. Maybe, I reckon around 2023-ish. If it was going to happen, it would be then. Wasn't there a Battle of Five Armies game that on smaller scale? Yeah, that was the one Glyn mentioned before. I do have a copy of it, never played it though. Isn't it Spain where it's still played a lot, including tournaments? I think so. I remember seeing a post a few months ago about a big War of the Ring event. It looked really cool. If any of you lovely people have a van knocking around and a free Saturday morning, I can repay with admission to a Lego wedding to see the Tower of Orthanc, amongst other things. Oh man, I'd help you out if you were local and I was here, mate. But you're not, and I'm not. Eric Schultz says, even though been enjoying the stream as I needlessly work on 23 Uruks to bloat an army already too big for War of the Ring. That sounds like a big army. I think everyone's got a big Isengard army. Elise Baptiste, what major Lord of the Rings character do you think will get a new model next? I'm hoping Faramir. Well, we know Defense of the North is coming. And we've had a teaser of that because we've got some of the Easterling stuff. So I think we'll get some more Easterling stuff. I don't know what though. And obviously that wasn't featured. So if you mean like popular from like the movies, I'm not so sure whether we'd get anything in, unless maybe the older like dwarfs, maybe. But we got these guys, didn't we? I've actually got them here. I built them when they come out, and they're still on painted handles, not touched. We did get those that we've not seen properly yet, scenarios or anything for. I don't know, maybe some more dwarfs. I really don't know. A lot of the releases, like the Fallen Necromancer, like have really caught me off guard, and I'm just kind of happy with whatever direction they go in, as long as they just keep releasing stuff. I'm happy. I have a feeling that we might visit a Hobbit era thing next after Defense of the North. Especially with Defense of the North sort of incorporating like the Dale stuff. I have a feeling they may sort of go on there, because there's still a few things that need to be fleshed out from the Hobbit. We didn't get the catapult troll. What else? There was another couple of things, wasn't there? We didn't get the catapult troll. What else was there? We were waiting on the Warbats for ages. We got those. They come out of nowhere. Is it just a catapult troll from the Hobbit line? I can't remember. But welcome, Ellis. Not seen you in the chat before. Hajinder's in. I hate taking off all the gates on Fancast. Yeah. It's mainly there's extra Fancast on the arm or face. You have to carve out the features. Yeah, I hate that when they put it somewhere where it's a bit of detail, so that when you cut it off, that bit of detail's not there. I've just got my alarm pop up. Just bear with me a second. What's that? Yeah. My alarm's flashing at me. I'm telling me I got to bed. I've got a 5 a.m. alarm call. Brazen, I would like to see a new Suladan model. We've had two though. That's the thing, isn't it? We've had two, because we had the original Suladan and then like the new one with like the liony head thing. Is that a lion's mask thing? Look, kind of looks like that, doesn't it? I love that Steve's first Warhammer visit is. Yeah, probably is, mate. Probably is. I was considering starting a YouTube with all my old armies, but editing is harder. Editing is grim, mate. Editing is grim. It's horrible. Especially you want to see how I film battle reports. I have 4 cameras, 4 different shots. Sound, audio at the minute is kicking my ass. I really need to sort that out. Just not had time. I keep saying that, just not had time. It's not had time. I literally haven't had time. I'd love to see a new plastic Sauron. That would be cool. I think if we were going to get one in the near future, it would have been now with this release. The fact that we haven't, I think it might be a while off though, Sean. But I would never say never, because we've still got to revisit all the Hobbit stuff. So there's a chance we could get that sort of the Hobbit, the Necromancer style model. Do you think there will be a new Last Alliance supplement, or do you think GW will wait until the new Amazon show to tackle it? I was fully convinced before the Amazon show got announced. I was fully convinced, before the dates were announced, I was fully convinced that the next supplement was the Last Alliance. Fully convinced. There was rumours out there that we'd heard, you know, that this model had been made and that model had been made, blah, 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 blah. And I think it just got shelved. I think that was the case, and I think it just got shelved because obviously there was conversations being had with Amazon and whether it was worth releasing something of one aesthetic and then Amazon releasing their series and it being completely different. It makes complete sense from a business point of view not to do that and change it, and then we started to get all the stuff that we've seen of late. So yeah, so the thought of that there are actually sculpts out there that we may never see now because of that is sad. I would have liked to have seen what they would have done, but I think we will get there at some point. Braga, true. Yeah, Braga, Team Spirit, that is one that we will definitely see. I actually have a converted Braga, which I basically just got a captain, cut his hat off and sculpted some hair and like a handlebar tash as Braga. Quite cool, actually. Ranks and ranks of troops facing off each other is visually wonderful. A visually wonderful sight, which is why I still do historical wargaming, says Michael. 17th century Swedish and 11th, 12th century Normans. Yeah, you can't beat that. That was one of the things that I used to really like about War of the Ring, just seeing them, that, you know, the photography of just the tables with just loads and loads and loads of models on it. I know I'm not just a fan of Finecast. Also, I know I'm just not a fan of Finecast. Also, a massive Harrod fan. Would like to see the Mahud return so I can do a Grand Army of the South and go all out. It will return. I think it was with us. Was it about 18 months ago? It was on. You could buy it, and then they took it off to replace it with something else. But they did say they have limited shelf space in the warehouses, so some lines come off and they get replaced, and it's kind of a cycle. So they will be coming back, and it would be nice if they came back and we got new stuff. That would be awesome. Owen says Gilgalad on horse is where it's at. Evening all, Steve. Yes, welcome, Owen. Yeah, Gilgalad's a beast. He's a beast. How do you set up all cameras to work in sync? With great difficulty, my friend. With great difficulty. I use the program I'm using now to do this stream. I use the 4 cameras. This is a free one. It's a free version of the program. The paid version, which would make my life a hell of a lot easier, is stupid money that you pay like a subscription, like you pay every month, but it's something daft, like about 600 quid a month, because it's used by people who create TV programs and stuff like that. This is the version I use is a free version. It's a lot more clunky and a lot more basic, but it does the job for what I need. Bring your War of the Ring armies to the studio, mate, and I'll show you. And Jinder says, I could see them doing more Erebor units, maybe some ranged infantry for the Hobbit. Is there much left for Lord of the Rings? Yes. Where did he stop? Because all you got to do is look back at how many of the old source books we've got. And obviously we're starting to see stuff out of the books now that wasn't in the movies. So they've probably got quite a lot that they can delve into. At a guess, I think after Defense of the North, we're going to go Hobbit era releases, supplements. And then remember, in September next year is when the Amazon series starts. I think if they've agreed anything with Amazon for that, there will be a release that ties in with that license. I think that would make sense, right? If you're a business, you tie in your first release with the release of that TV show. But again, that's just speculation, totally speculation. Chapter Master Valoric's leak guy did mention Last Alliance was confirmed, but they had to scrap their plans because of Amazon licensing. All right, I didn't hear that. And I know Sam. I'll have to bend his ear about that. He lives locally to me. And he lives up the road. He is supposed to be coming on the channel at some point when I do decide to do some 40k stuff. New plastic high elves and Numenorians, please, GW. Yeah, be amazing. Be amazing. I'm going to head on here, Steve. Thanks for the stream and take care all. I won't be far behind you, Glyn. I got my notification to let me know that I need to go to bed. So I'm gonna fly through these last few comments and then shoot off. But yeah, take care, Glyn. It was nice to have you. Cheers, Steve. Didn't know that. Yeah, is that about the Mahud? Yeah, the Mahud definitely coming back, mate. 100%. It says yes. How about a pack of Middle Earth's missing mounts, Gilgalad, Rangers of the North, Forlong, Grimbold, etc. I think we will get them all. I think there'll be little spot releases. You know, like we didn't expect to get the bats when we did. There's loads of stuff that kind of just come out of nowhere, and I think there'll be like little sort of infills to in between like a release schedule. Like they might go, oh, here's a character series Forlong on horse or something. You might not get character series for Forlong, but you know what I mean. Well keen for a game, bit of travelling from Scotland, but yeah, well, true. But I'm always here, man, and if you can, you know, tie it in with another visit to the north of England then, or northwest of England, I'd be happy to have you over for a day, mate, and buy you a few pints and etc. and we'll get some games in. Just bear it in mind. My War of the Ring book is well loved, says Brayson. Yeah, I think everyone's got one. I've got one up there. Is it just me, or is Blinding Light far too easy to cast and Mighted is exhaustion? I would have this spell at a 4+ and the range widened with Might. I've not used it or played it that much, Owen, and it's been that long since I played competitively. I've not really put too much thought into it. I suppose it's that. I suppose the way you got to look at it is you're paying for a character that casts Blinding Light with a lot of points to get the Blinding Light, so you kind of already paid for it. So you're assuming you're going to come up against shooty armies. You pay for someone who's got Blinding Light. That's the penalty, the cost of having to bring that wizard at that cost, because that's the biggest part of what they're going to do in that game, maybe. Don't know, not really put too much thought on it. Can send photos of all my armies at some point if interested. 100%, mate. Get them on the Facebook group. Are you, Jay? Are you on the Facebook group? Top Table Gaming Community. If you're not, get on there. Don't attempt to Scot with pints. That's excuse enough to come down. I'm meeting up with some of you guys, some Scots this weekend. There's a lot of Scots who are playing Lord of the Rings. There was an event. When was it? I think. Is the league final Stirlingshire? Is that the league final this year? Scouring of Stirlingshire? Have I got that right, or has that been? I've got a feeling it's the league finale, which I think is the last week of November, if I'm not mistaken. And I keep saying I'm going to come. I've not been to it, and I feel terrible because the lads always come to my events. But in the past they've always had it on Bonfire Night weekend, which it just so happens always said I can't come with the Bonfire Night weekend, and then my event's Bonfire Night weekend this year. But yeah, I will get up at some point, 100%. Right, just as the chat is slowing down, I think I'll call it a night because it's been nearly 2 hours. I expected to come on for half an hour, but it's been great to chat to all you guys. Thank you for keeping me company, and thank you for listening. If you are attending the Scouring of Cheshire in 2 weeks, remember that you need to get on the event page and register as going, so you get all notifications. All your army lists need to be in by the 2nd of November. When you send your army list in, within a couple of days, I will send you the link to register for the event on Longshanks. Make sure, or please share that with anyone who you know is going to the event and isn't in the chat tonight. But I will put a post on the group. And food is totally optional, but we're doing a £10 large pizza from Domino's on the Saturday night. You need to pay up front to the PayPal. That'll be on the post. And if you want lunch to be there on the Saturday and Sunday, it's £5 per day. You get 2 sandwiches and a packet of crisps. Again, it'll be on the post. And that, yeah, £5 a day. But other than that, you don't have to. There is plenty of takeaways and sandwich shops and bakeries and things on the doorstep, but if you just can't be bothered going, it just makes life a lot easier to have it arranged and have it brought to you. But yeah, I will call it there. Thank you everybody for joining me. The next live stream will be the first round draw, which will be either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday next week. I'll announce it on the Facebook group, and hopefully I'll see you there. And for you guys who are meeting us at Warhammer World this weekend, can't wait to see you there. And maybe, I don't know, I'm up for cuddles, but people may not be. We'll see. Oh, there was something that I forgot. If you are coming to the event, please, 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 it is a very good idea before you head to Manchester to the Scouring of Cheshire to have at least a lateral flow test, just to put your own and everyone else's mind at rest. I'll be having one on the Wednesday. I have to have one weekly anyway because I'm in people's houses every day with work. Have a lateral flow test. It puts everyone's minds at ease, and bring your hand sanitizers and things like that. It's just common decency. Whether you think it's a threat or not, just it's not hard. Right, that's it. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all soon. It's been an absolute pleasure as per usual. Take care. Yeah, I'll put on my little screen with the nice music, so I like it.